Hey, hi guys, welcome to Packet Drift. Today we'll try to demystifying the networking buzzword that is SDN. If you will ask four different guy what is the uh, different definition of SDN, then there is a high probability that you will get four different answer from them. Someone will say that SDN is nothing but network virtualization. Someone will say that it's a network automation. Someone will say that it's a network programmability. Someone will say that it's a plain separation. So things like that. There are different view for the SDN. Even the multiple vendors have their own way of networking deployment. Like SDN for VMware is network virtualization, like their product of NSX, which talks about the network virtualization in software-defined data center. Cisco has Epic EM, which has their own way of SDN deployment. Another example is Cumulus, which talks about the Linux operating system, which work on the bare metal switch, and they sell that as their SDN product. Obviously, that bare metal switch is um, adjusted or compliance with the SDN technology. But if we go through the basic definition, then this is the one which is given by the ONF Open Networking Foundation, which says that the physical separation of the network control plane from the forwarding plane, and where control plane controls the several devices. This is the most basic definition of SDN, which says nothing but the separation of the control and the data plane inside the networking devices.
So guys, this is the basic HDN architecture as per the definition we just now saw. It consists of the application layer, control layer, and the infrastructure layer. Infrastructure layer is made of the actual physical devices which understand the HDN used protocol to communicate. It has a traffic and the forwarding capability. Control plane, this is the main control part of the SDN architecture. We can say that this is the brain of the network. It is the software which control how traffic will flow through the network. It does flow management and the pushes all the rules and flow design uh, to the SDN devices. It has an entire view of the network. We can say that OSPF control is run on this control layer, and it view the entire network as a single entity. Next is application layer. This is the layer where flow and network control functions are actually defined and pushed towards the controller, and controller pushed down further to the device. It defines the functionality such as the load balancing, firewalling, traffic monitoring, traffic engineering, etc. etc. Communication between this application layer and the control layer is done by the northbound interface, uh, or we can say it's a API between the application and control layer. Control layer and infrastructure layer communicate with each other via the southbound interface, or we can say that it's a southbound API interface or API. There are different protocols or the API between the northbound and the southbound to communicate or to facilitate the communication between the different layers, like in between the application layer and the control layer. Northbound APIs like REST API is used, and the communication between control layer and the infrastructure layer is done by the OpenFlow. OpenFlow is nothing but one of the southbound protocol used between the control layer and the infrastructure layer. So this is the actual, we can say, the architecture which is which shows that the protocol used for the different layers. As you can see here that in northbound API, these are the API used between the application layer and the control layer. That is the rest. Sorry for that. Let me just erase it so that you can see it properly. So this is the Open Daylight architecture shown here in the diagram, which use REST-conf or NetConf as a northbound API, whereas in the southbound communication between the controller and the infrastructure layer. This is the hardware layer or infrastructure layer. This is the actual controller, and this is the application. So in southbound, like BGP, SNMP, OpenFlow, these are some of the protocol used to communicate between the controller and the actual hardware devices. So in SDN, all hardware devices should be compatible or should be able to read or run, or should have the specification that can understand the OpenFlow protocol or the similar protocol which are used as a southbound API. So this is the actual difference between the traditional and the SDN environment. As we see here in the diagram for the traditional network, this is the traditional way of the network deployment, and this is the SDN way of the network deployment. So as you can see, there are two routers which are connected via the single interfaces. We normally telnet and SSH to the router to modify the configuration inside the router in a traditional network. This login functionality is managed by the management plane on the router. As you can see, each router has their own management plane here. Similarly, when router wants to reach to the other network, it has to run either dynamic routing protocol like OSPF, BGP, EIGRP, ISIS, or we can run the static routing. This functionality of the routing protocol is categorized as a control plane. Okay, so this control how the packet for particular destination should be forwarded by building the routing table. This routing table is pushed into the hardware plane, or we can say inside the data plane for actual packet forwarding. This is we are talking about the traditional networking. Every router has its own protocol process, like each router has its own control plane functionality. Let's say if we are running the OSPF between these two routers, similarly if there are hundreds of router and we are running the OSPF between them, so each router will have their own OSPF process. It means that 100 routers, 100 control plane. So there are this is not the centralized way of the control plane handling. This is each and every router will have their individual control plane, management plane, and the data plane. Whereas as we see in the SDN way, control plane is centralized. And there is no control plane on the each and every devices on the infrastructure layer. So now how the packet is forwarded in the infrastructure layer of the SDN. Normally the application pushes the flow, like how should be routing inside the network. This flow is normally written in the API and pushes to the controller. Then controller further forward those flows inside the actual hardware in the SDN environment. While forwarding the packet, switches see that flow table. Based on that flow table, SDN switches forward the packet. If it is if destinations are unknown for that particular packet, then there is a capability that switch should be forwarded those packet to the controller, and controller will take the further action. So here in this uh, SDN environment, we can see that the controller is the centralized part and which control how the packet should be forwarded into the SDN environment. It has a centralized view. It is nothing but the software hosted in any virtual machine or dedicated machine or the server. There are multiple open source controller which is normally used in the SDN environment, or open source, or there are multiple vendor support or vendor created controller which are used in the SDN environment. Like we can say that in open source, let me just write it down here. For the open source controller, like There it is. Open Daylight is one of them, which is famous one for the SDN deployment. Second is Ryu. This is normally used in the service provider environment. And another is Open Contrail, which is contributed by the Juniper, which is vendor, but it has created their open source controller for the SDN environment. There is vendor specific controller like Cisco we have, which has created their own uh, Epic EM controller for data center. For SDN controller, like Brocade has their own controller, Dell has their own controller for the SDN. Similarly, Ericsson has their own controller. Hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe and enjoy the learning. Thank you.